Guys, thanks for joining me again. It's great to spend some time with you guys on video. All right, we are going to begin factoring. This is a very important section. It's going to take you pretty much throughout a lot of your high school courses. Okay, our first thing that we're doing is factoring quadratic trinomials, and they're all going to look like x squared plus bx plus c. And when I say that, that just means that there's not going to be a number in front of the x squared. We have 10 problems, so let's get to it. This is a warm-up, but you do need to write it down. These are the first 4 problems. Number 1, can you think of a pair of numbers that will multiply to give you 8 and also add up to give you 9? You might want to make a little chart to go like this: multiply and add. So things that multiply to give me 8. You could do 2 times 4, and that adds to give me 6. That doesn't work. How about 4 times 2? How about 1 times 8? That gives me 9. That multiplies to give me 8 and adds to give me 9. So this answer is, look, it's in there, 1 and 8. I don't know why that's up in there. Okay, number 2. Which pair of factors of 30 has a sum of negative 17? Now that's the same question as I asked in the first one, just worded more mathy. So multiply to give me 30 and add to give me negative 17. I'm going to make a table and I'm going to say organize. Multiply to give me 30, add to give me negative 17. Okay, I'm going to be organized and start with 1. Is it 1 times 30? Well, there's no way a 1 and a 30 can add to give you a 17, much less a negative, but I do notice that these are going to have to multiply to give me a positive number, but they have to add to give me a negative number. Now, the only way that's going to happen is if both of these numbers are negative. So this gives me negative 31, and that is not right. Okay, how about negative 2 times negative 15? See how I'm going negative 1, negative 2. The next one I would try is negative 3. Well, negative 2 and negative 15 multiply to give me 30, and they add to give me negative 17. So the answers would be negative 2 and negative 15. Okay, now I know you already know how to do this, but I would like for you to pause the video and work out number 3. Okay, the answer to this is x squared plus 2x and 3x is 5x plus 6. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Can you think of any 2 numbers that will multiply to give me 6 and add to give me 5? Guess what? They are 2 and 3. 2 plus 3 is 5, and 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, let's do number 4. Pause it and multiply it out. Welcome back, and this answer is going to be r squared minus 4r minus 45. So here's the question. Can you think of 2 numbers that multiply to give me negative 45 and add to give me negative 4? Guess what they are? Positive 5 and negative 9 multiply to give me negative 45, and they also add to give me negative 4. All right, now that you're all warmed up, let's go to the first problem, which is real problem number 5. We are going to factor this. It's called guess and check, but we're going to make a table. So I need to think of 2 numbers that will multiply to give me 36 and add to give me 15. Now I'm really not sure what these are, so I'm going to write it in a little table. Multiply to give me 36, add to give me 15. I would start with 1. That gives me 37. 2 times 18 is 20. 3 times 12 is 15, and there's the factors that work. Now, the way we write this out is we put 2 factors. X is going to go in the first spot because x times x is x to the second. In any order, you're going to put 3 in one spot and 12 in the other. That is the final answer. Now, if you multiplied this back out, you should get x squared plus 15x plus 36. Number 6. same type of problem. We have to multiply to get 5 and add to get 6. So I'm going to make a table. Oh, wait a minute. The only things that multiply to give me 5 are 1 and 5. And thank goodness those add to give me 6. Set up your parentheses. Fill in your x's. Since the 5 is a positive and the 6 is a positive, both signs down here are going to have to be positive. That's the only way you can multiply to get a positive and add to get a positive. Then fill in your 1 and your 5. And any way you can do 5 and 1 and you always get the same answer. Okay, we already did that. And then if you see down here, I went ahead and used the FOIL method to work it out, to check, to make sure that I got x squared plus 6x plus 5. Right. Number 7. Why don't you pause this for a moment and check it out and see if you can get the right answer. Right, I know I'm going to have an x plus a number and another x plus a number. I need to write down the factors of 9 and then the sum of those numbers. 1 times 9 is 9, and 1 plus 9 is 10. That didn't work. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 plus 3 is 6. So this one works. Then we just need to fill in x plus 3 and x plus 3. And whoops, you can also write that as x plus 3 squared. All right, number 8. We're going to factor. This time we have a positive at the end here, but the 8 is a negative. We're going to start it the same exact way. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to show y'all the answer. You didn't look, did you? Okay, so I'm going to make a table. I have to multiply to get 15 and add to get negative 8. Okay, so how about 15? The first thing I think of is 3 times 5. Now that does multiply to give me 15, but it does not add to give me negative 8. The only way that's going to happen is if both of these numbers are negative. Negative 3 and negative 5 is negative 8. So those are the numbers that I'm going to fill in. X minus 3 and x minus 5. All right, now C is this number on the end. If it's positive, then your two signs are going to be the same, both positive or both negative. However, if C is a negative number, then you're going to have a plus in one and a minus in the other. Example 9, I have a negative 20. I need to make a table doing the factors of 20. That means it has to multiply to give me negative 20, and I'm looking for one that adds to give me 1 or 1x. Okay, so 1 times 20. Now, in order for that to happen, I'm going to have a negative on one of the two. That gives me 19. Negative 2 times 10. That adds to give me 8. Negative 3 doesn't work. Negative 4 times 5. That is a 1. And if you notice up here, I am looking for a 1x. So this is the right combination of numbers. And you get x minus 4 and x plus 5. If you want to multiply it out and check it, you will see that you'll get right back to the original trinomial. Number 10 and last one. Definitely pause it and see if you can get this one. I know that I'm going to have to fill in two numbers, and I know I have to make a table. The factors of negative 18, they have to multiply to give me negative 18. They have to add to give me a negative 3. So I'm going to start with 2 or 1. Negative 1 times 18 is 17. I know that one of these factors has to be negative. Negative 2 times 9, that would give me 7. That doesn't work. Negative 3 times 6. Now that gives me a positive 3, but that gives me an idea. I think what I could do is make the 3 positive and the 6 negative. Those add up to give me a negative 3. Okay, so the way I'm going to write my answer is x minus 6 and x plus 3. Now you could have it in a different order. You could have x plus 3 and x minus 6. However, that negative must go with the 6 and the 3 must go with positive. All right, when you get to class tomorrow, be ready for a 5-problem individual quiz. Thank you and have a good evening.